Gus, Sam Womack doesn't necessarily have the same like height profile you guys are used to, but what's made him be so successful so early?
He's got really good instincts. Sam kind of reminds me of a Casey Hayward. We had him back at the Chargers and Raiders. Very football savvy, very smart, a high football IQ, studies receivers, studies routes, things like that. So I think he plays. I mean, he's got some speed too, right? Like you can see him run. But ever since he's come in here, you've seen him get some his hands on the ball, get some PBUs. So it's good to see that carry over to some of the games. But he plays with a lot of confidence.
Stephen?
Hey, Gus, how you doing?
Good, Stephen.
Hey, Latu, certainly no one's really got big sack numbers for you right now, but I'm wondering if you could just kind of tell us what the tape shows and what you're seeing from him. That position, it's always an acclimation period, right?
Sure.
How's that going?
Well, I think that he's doing a good job. You continue to see growth in him. It might not show up in sack totals, but like affected the quarterback, he had 2 quarterback hits, so we're seeing him get there. And we, just like we tell him with takeaways, just keep going. They'll come in bunches, they'll come in bunches and you'll get your opportunity. But he's not a frustrated man. I think he's, so team orientated. What more can I do? But he's constantly working on his craft. So yeah, we like where he's at. He's a tremendous hard worker, and the moves, his pass rush moves, you see him in practice, try to really refine them. And I can't say enough about him. I'm glad we have him.
When in that position, you can be close to making the sack and being close to making that play, and then you don't come up with anything. But I mean, do you feel like you can impact the game even without the sacks? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I guess overall that what you're seeing.
Obviously, sack numbers are important, right, to everybody out there and to us too, and to him as well. I mean, he's no different. And sometimes guys go a couple games without a sack, and you can see it wear on them. I've been a part of that with a couple of guys where they haven't got a sack, and they're like, God, Gus, and I think if you see him getting close, you see him using the right technique, you see him with the pass rush moves, and all those things are in place, then you just keep going. They'll come. Those opportunities will come. And, we saw a lot of quick game 2 weeks ago, getting in those pass rush situations where teams have to pass the ball. And, we can get him in that environment. I think that, he'll be able to showcase even more.
Thanks.
James?
Gus, in what ways have you seen Jalen Jones sort of grow up this season, and also just the physicality he plays with in the line he's been able to kind of walk to be successful but still be physical?
I see Jalen like this. I think what impressed us most about him last year was his strength at the line of scrimmage, his ability to play press. He loves to play that, press coverage type style. Now, I think his game has grown just because some of the different concepts that we've thrown at him, whether it's cover 2, cover 3, playing the zone principles, he's more acclimated to that, and it looks like football when he does it. But probably the biggest jump that he's made is his ability to crack replays, use his hands to get off blocks, set edges. We saw that this past Sunday. So it's just another step for him to be a complete player. I think he's got the skill set. He just needs game reps and opportunity to do those things. But he's made a big jump in that area. Still not exactly where it needs to be, but we could show clips of the whole group, of him demonstrating those things.
Then one quick follow-up with the defense. Obviously, the fourth quarter was great, but how do you all, I guess, sustain it over an entire 4 quarters? That's what pretty much the theme I heard throughout the locker room after the game.
Well, yeah, I mean, to get, 3 and outs in a critical time in the fourth quarter, it's always about giving the offense opportunities. So, yeah, I mean, that's the goal, right? I thought that we had our best game tackling. The past couple of weeks, I've been telling you that we've had 15 missed tackles, 14 missed tackles. Well, I think this was like 6 in the game. So a big jump there. I thought our effort, we came out and played with really good effort. That was at a high. and then compared to some other games. So, you know, it's a big step. We, you know, constantly trying to get our guys to play better and better. And I think that was the focal point this week was, boy, our tackling needs to improve and we need to make a big step. Everybody's got to take ownership of it, and they did a nice job of it. So, you know, we just need to continue with that area, and I think that will help us play more consistent throughout the game.
George,
Gus, do you expect the Force to open the 21-day window this week?
We're having discussions with that now. You know, as a matter of fact, we just talked about it. So we'll have some conversations and see how that goes.
Whenever he does get back, is he a guy that would be able to come back in quickly? Do you think he's going to need more than 1 week of practice to be ready?
You know what? I'm not sure I can answer that. I do know that past history has shown that he's, you know, once he's full speed and ready to go, because he does a great job. He's in there lifting, conditioning, you know, keeping that area high for him. So, you know, I guess we'll wait and see when that time comes.
Joel,
Gus, how do you feel like your linebackers are playing so far this?
Well, I thought we tackled better this past weekend. You know, they did a good job, I think, you know, in their pass drops and their concepts. But, I mean, there's so much that's involved, especially with Z, you know, controlling the front. He's our leader. You know, the temperament of our defense, you know, a lot of that stems from him. So, you know, they're doing a really good job. We're always asking for more and more consistency. But, you know, they graded out, both of them graded out pretty well.
and then we'll do our last question from James.
Gus, on Tony Pollard's touchdown run, was that an example of what you were saying, to clean up the tackling, or what did you see on the play that led to kind of that moment? And then also on the flip side, your team responding to that.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I say we got better in tackling, and then that play shows up. So, I mean, it was a 3rd and long situation. They're already in field goal range. We just got to make the tackle. If they get 8-9 yards, tackle them. They kick the field goal. They were taking shots down there. It's really a situation. Well, let's see if they, you know, in our minds, could they, you know, take a shot, try to get a touchdown or kick the field goal. They ran the ball. We had opportunities to make the play, and we just didn't. And, you know, I think everybody takes ownership on that one.